My name is Tim O'Sullivan. I have PTSD, suffer from short-term memory loss, some traumatic brain injury challenges, vertigo, and also some hearing loss. I was a military brat. I grew up, my father was in the military for 21 years. I pretty much followed in his footsteps. I'd say about 1991, I joined the military and retired in 2013. Not by choice, I was medically retired due to injuries that I had received in combat. I joined and then became a jet engine mechanic. I worked on F-16s, F-15s. Applied for commission, I got picked up and got my first assignment was Air Force Special Operations. Of course, September 11th happened and got my first deployment. We started out in Oman and then went into Kandahar. I went to Yemen and Pakistan. Came back, actually ended up here at Wright-Patterson where I met my wife, Kristen. From there we went to back down to Tampa. When I was stationed there, I got a deployment tasking, and this one was to Iraq, and it was for a year. And it was, I was an embedded advisor to the Iraqi Army. In, say, 7 months, we had about 1,100 rocket attacks. There was an offensive that happened, and about 30 minutes after leaving the base, our vehicle was hit with a 100-pound roadside bomb. So I suffered a traumatic brain injury, torn ligaments, internal bleeding. So it took some time to get through all that. Some of the things that my wife, we didn't put two and two together. When we came back, we lived in Florida, and 45 minutes from Disneyland. So we decided, hey, let's try to forget everything. Let's go down to Disney. And what do they do at Disney? They launch fireworks. And me and the fireworks didn't do so well. They hit. I ended up almost in the bushes. Just natural body instinct. You can't control it anymore. So there are certain things. Large crowds, have always made me feel uneasy. Once things slowed down, and then was medically retired, I had a lot of time on my hands. Too much time that now all the things that had happened and your sense of purpose goes away. And it's a struggle. It's still been a struggle, that you have more time to think about what had happened and how it impacts you. I had a VA prescription for a service dog for a long time. I didn't do it at first because I was like, I can deal with this on my own. I can handle this. My mother-in-law and I were over at Ritter's Ice Cream Place, and I saw a guy there with 4 paws, dog, and I could tell the guy was a veteran. And we went over and sat down, and his dog was sitting in between us. I started talking about my own personal experiences, and as I'm explaining to him some of those experiences, my anxiety level went up, and amazingly, his dog picked up on it, and his dog crossed my lap and then started leaning into me. And I put my arms around the natural reaction. When a dog does that, you're going to put your arms around him. And so I did that, and I thought, it just took everything away that we were just talking about and totally distracted me. And he looked at me and goes, "Are you okay?" I said, "Yeah, I'm fine." He says, "It's my dog servicing you. He picked up on it." And so I got in the car with my mother-in-law, and I looked at her and I said, I need to do this. I build, and I'm an artist as well. But that can be a bad thing as well, because I can spend days down there and not even come up to escape. But I think the dog is going to help. It's going to help tremendously.
We're really excited to see you move on to this next stage in your life with a service dog, and I cannot even begin to tell you the fantastic ways that your life is about to change.
Meeting Chesney for the first time, it was incredible. Nervous. Excited and nervous. Couldn't sleep last night. And a lot of anxiety, just getting up to that point. When she came out, it was instant connection. I was really fortunate that we connected so fast. Beautiful. Yeah, graduation day was pretty neat. There's other veterans that Fort Poss have done things for, have provided service dogs for, and a few of them veterans showed up with their dogs at graduation. People that quilt these real beautiful quilts for veterans, they make these blankets for them. Well, they made them for the dog and they made them for the veterans. So it was really, really neat. Chesney loved the blanket. She still uses it today.
Now that we have Chesney, she's another good distraction, and he'll be working on things every now and again, and she'll just kind of tap him like, hey, and it just takes him out of that moment and out of that dive into avoidance. She takes him out of that.
I had triggered a dream, that uncomfortable dream that she recognized and crawled on my chest and woke me up out of the dream. So she knew that I was either struggling with something. It's incredible. She's an amazing animal. She calms me down. She comforts me, lets me know, before I get too elevated with certain things or make irrational decisions. So by having a service dog, it's more of a statement also saying that I'm doing something about it. I recognize that I have some struggles and I'm doing something about it, and Chesney's there to help me along that journey. So, yeah, you can tell I don't do well with interviews, huh?